Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to this mess. This episode of Broken Lords on Endless is brought to you by the letters L, O, S, and E. I do want to talk a little bit about the concept of playing from behind, because it's important. First of all, it's important when you get behind not to go on tilt. And if you're not familiar with what that means, it's very easy when you get behind to get discouraged or frustrated or angry, depending on, the reasons that you're behind. And then to allow that mental state to cause you to make further errors, which make things worse, and then you get more frustrated or angry, and then you make more errors, and you get into this cycle where eventually you're just fucking up all over the place, and not only are you going to still lose the game, but you're actually going to feel worse at the end of it, because you'll know that you kept screwing up as things go on. So, it's very important not to get discouraged, to maintain an analytical state of mind. You may not be able to look on the bright side and conjure up a positive emotion. I can't do it, personally. When I'm down, when I'm getting my ass kicked in a game, I can't be like, oh well, sunshine and flowers, but what you can do is train yourself to not give yourself over to emotion. Have the bad feeling, recognize the bad feeling, look at it, analyze, is there anything useful in this feeling? And if not, just push it aside. Rely on the, brain. Rely on your brain, your analysis powers. So that's what we're doing here. We're going to do a little bit of analysis on this situation. You're probably thinking, hey SB, follow your own advice, you turbo nerd. You sounded horribly discouraged last video. It's true, I did. I got myself into a bit of a pit there. I do think that we are probably screwed. But let's look for the out. If you're not familiar with that term, I don't know, this is like real strategy 101 stuff, but it might be useful to somebody. An out is just any strategy or play that will allow you to win, any strategy, play, or event, something that can happen to you, that will allow you to win the game from your current position. If you're doing well, you probably have a lot of outs. You have a lot of different plays you can make that cause you to win. As you start to get behind, those paths start to get closed off to you, right? When you're down, there are often only a few ways to get back in. And this is true of almost any game. Sometimes the only out you have left is a very low percentage play or something like that. And listen, if you get into a position where you're losing and you only have one out, then you must play to the out. Everything you do must be aimed toward whatever paths are left to let you get back into the game. So, as far as I can tell, what it looks to me like our only out is we get uncommon alloys, we retrofit into adamantium gear, because we have some adamantium sitting around, and then we try to fight on that level. To be successful at fighting with adamantium gear, so we've identified our out, right? Now we gotta make the path to that out. To be successful with our adamantium gear, we're gonna need an actual functional army, which means no frittering away units. We gotta focus in, build up, and have the dust to retrofit a bunch of guys in 4 turns. This is non-trivial. So our guys are, what? 469, 866. If you're wondering why they've gotten more expensive, despite the fact that we haven't changed their equipment at all, I believe number of cities might come into play in the cost, but I think your era also, your troops just get more expensive as you move up in eras. They also start at higher levels. So you can see we're building, oh, it doesn't actually show it on here, but we're building higher level troops than we were in the last era. Each era you go up adds 1 level to the base output of your troops. Let me think here. So we're gonna rush out this guy. I'm debating how much I want Dust Bishops. I think we're going to go for 1 Dust Bishop right now. So we need 6... It's like 5 or... We're going to need 6 adamantium per unit, plus enough to outfit our hero. In 4 turns, we will have mined 4... That's not going to be enough. Okay, so we're actually only going to be partially outfitted. That's pretty grim. We might go back to one-handers and shields then. So I want to make sure everybody has a real weapon. I mean, also, this, let's not forget, we have a boat. Maybe the boat could find us some adamantium in a ruin. That could happen. Alright. How expensive is it going to be to resurrect Timok Rayan? 260? Okay, so we can do that basically whenever we feel like it. We almost produce 260 dust per turn. Actually, we should probably do that sooner rather than later, because we want him to be able to start generating experience again. Is he close to a level? He is close to a level. Okay, yeah, so buying him out faster, putting him in control of troops, will help him get to level 5 faster. And level 5 grants us what? 12 extra attack on all of our units. Significant. This is a problem, obviously. Let's see if we can get this guy in combat range in time. These are pretty good troops that he has. Okay. I can't really devote any resources, dust resources that is, to anything other than pushing my army. I think we're going to have to take and assimilate just because every little bit of stats is going to be important. But it's hard to know which assimilate we want until we know what our stats look like after uncommon alloys. So we're going to hold our influence until then. Let me look at our cities real quick. So Irino is the only city that's on industry. And it's trying to get a dust relevant thing going. But I'm wondering if maybe we gotta pull it back. It's an extra 26 dust per turn. Yeah, because we're actually, like, we're on the knife's edge of losing this game. I gotta turn this on. I do wish the game would remember from session to session that I like the little outlines. It's like the minorest of concerns. But I really do like the little outlines. Alright. Does Dorius have a governor? It does not. We should pull one of the other governors over, right? Oh, maybe not. My thinking there was that I want to make sure that we have a hero involved in the fight for Dorius, but it looks like they maybe are not going to Dorius. They might be going to Batanch instead. Ah, we've met Green on the ocean, I'm assuming? Indeed. Alright, we'll be going this way then. Not finding a lot of ruins out here, unfortunately. Makes more sense to rush one of the ones nearby. Alright, we maybe shouldn't have done that. I'm a little worried that we're going to get attacked before we really have a chance to finish getting ready. Now again, this is only 2 units, but one of these guys alone killed an entire, not an entire army, it wasn't a full army, but it was a lot of guys. Oh, he's put a hero in. Hero's got lower damage, but a lot of health. And he brings army damage boost 2 and army attack boost 1. So this necrophage is at 277 attack. Yeah, I guess boosting our defense is probably going to be irrelevant. So we saw their guardian walking around up here too, but the guardian is not pillaging this. This is being pillaged by normal units. Alright, you're about to level like pretty soon. A couple more turns actually. Right, because right now he's at 5 XP per turn. It's 1 XP per turn passive, plus 1 for each unit in his army. And then there are other things that can boost that as well. So we're going to want to pull any trinket that will be useful. We can afford to go for a titanium trinket now because we don't really need to preserve titanium for the troops anymore. And I mean, we're going to upgrade our units with tier 3 armor as soon as we have the weapons available. I didn't want to do a bunch of retrofits. So there's no good reason not to put Army Initiative boost on. It doesn't even cost any extra dust because it has no production cost. And then Army Damage Boost 1 he actually already has. I don't think that a lot of this stuff is personal initiative. Oh, okay. So we could improve his damage bonus from high ground, or his attack bonus rather. It's an attack bonus. But that does have a production cost, which means it costs extra dust. Let's just do this for right now. We'll reevaluate in a couple of turns. Reevaluate in one turn. Alright, let's see where we ended up here. It would be very beneficial to me. He waited until I committed my turn to take his moves. That's not an uncommon thing for the AI to do. A computer player that you're at war with does get to know when you're done, and then take their moves, which is a little bit of a shame. We're getting spied on even. Man. Okay. So... Oh, that's right. We have to go back to one-handed swords because one-handed swords cost 6. The, more advanced weapons have a higher cost. Alright, and then we need shields. They'll have to be iron. So that puts us only at 79 attack and 54 damage. This is actually not much better. And then for you, it's going to have to be... Yeah, there's no way we're going to be able to retrofit very many people, unfortunately. So that means Dust Bishops are basically not useful to us. And this happens before we get a chance to retrofit. Okay. So his Necrodrone's not at full health. Alright, we can use... Provided that his Forager can't reach our hero, which I believe is the case, we can use our hero to lock him in place. He has free counter, but as far as I'm aware, the way free counter works is that you, if you have already attacked, you can counterattack. And if you have already counterattacked once and not attacked, you can counterattack once more. I think if you get attacked before your move, it still prevents you from moving. We're about to find out if that's the case. If you're wondering why he's healing, he has regeneration, which causes him to gain a small amount of health each turn. Alright. These guys are going to have to turn around and fight with these, because obviously this dude is locked in place. Oh, yeah, his units are so deadly. Yeah, he can kill us in one hit. The fortification is giving us a second attack, but I don't know for sure that we're going to be able to kill even one of these units, despite the fact that that one entered the battle injured. Oh my god, we did it. Well, his hero's less dangerous, although we should definitely move our hero back. This guy is more dangerous than the hero. He needs to be the next target. Yeah, the fact that he got the fact that the only player neighboring us got the free counter trinket from the legendary deed makes our lives a lot more difficult. Battle's almost over. Remember, we don't have to win, we just have to minimize our losing. Which we are not doing a very good job at. Okay, well technically, this guy gets to live because his army wasn't actually wiped out. And Timokrayan gets his level up. But I do believe that is going to be the game, because let's... Even with upgrades, we're at 99 attack, 68 damage, so... well under their defense. And with damage such that even if we were at or above their defense and could guarantee normal damage, we'd still have to hit them, what, 8 times? 7 or 8 times to kill them, each of his units. So, yeah, that's going to be the game. We have no way of pushing him off of Matanch. He's going to take it, he's going to take Doria's back, and then he's going to take the rest. Yeah, so, the questions now. What did we do wrong that we could do better in the next game? Also, out of curiosity. What's this? Give him 150 dust. Yes, sir. There you go. Hey, in 6 turns, we'll get the boarding vessel design for free. It's a little silly that it's so easy to get the boarding vessel design as long as you already can get out on the water. Fireship design's that way too, though. That's one reason that I think building boarding vessels is actually not that bad of a play, because if you do quests and search ruins, you can find the fireship design for free. So it's not always best to wait until you have fireships. Anyway, I think we're going to go ahead and fold this one up. What did we do wrong? What can we do better? Well, I probably didn't settle aggressively enough. I think that's definitely a mistake that I made. The fact is, you need a wide manufacturing base in order to be able to produce enough units to fight an endless AI, because an endless AI can really pour the units on. And if you've been watching the channel for a while, you've probably seen that in a couple of the other games. Even when we're at a significant advantage, and we're just like pounding through an inferior force, we'll often have to fight 6 or 7 full armies before we're able to really breach the AI's lines. So we need a wide manufacturing base. I need to be more aggressive with my settling. There's no way to prevent going to war. We will be warring with the AI. We can't be aggressive in the early game. The AI starts with too many units. As you saw at the beginning of this game, they had we can talk about this while we're loading the next game. So let's get back in here. Okay. Yeah, we can't be aggressive very much in the early game. We have some of the worst units in the game as our starting unit. The Stalwart really is not great. The Stalwarts are great at surviving, but you have to also survive. If you're wondering why I do this, I like for there only to be one green and only to be one blue in the game, so that it's easier for me to say that's the green player, that's the blue player, that's the pink player, instead of always having to say light green or dark green. Same settings. Let's make sure that this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's not going to be possible for us to be very militarily aggressive. We got some bad luck there in that the dominant player was the one who was in a position to push us into the corner. And which one of the necrophages is going to emerge as dominant is completely down to luck. What's going to determine it is the way that the necrophages interact with each other. Like, Pink took some early dominance and was able to get the free counter trinket because they were the first player to kill 10 armies of another player. Really, there's nothing we could do about something like that. So, to a certain extent, I think it does come down to luck, whether we're going to be able to win. This is part of the reason I wanted to do this challenge, as suggested by, Valiant Lightning, right off the bat. That's nice. Part of the reason I wanted to do this challenge is that I thought it would be interesting, and the reason it's interesting is because it's difficult in an unusual way. So, we have to expect that we're gonna maybe eat a loss or two here while we figure out a strategy that works. Alright, what do we get as our home region? Eyeless ones. Okay. Well, I'm happy about that, because they're easy to kill. If it comes right down to it. We generated some horrible terrain, though. Look at this. Look at how many spaces in our starting region only have 2 points of resources on them. Again, we have a real dearth of industry, combined with kind of a dearth of science as well. This is a bad start. So we could settle over here. 6818 is not, it's not horrible. Spiral Rock Peel is a great, Spiral Rock Peel is a great anomaly. Some of the anomalies have 8 points of resources on them, some have 10, and some have plus 10 approval, while others don't. Spiral Rock Peel is high payout, a lot of industry, and plus 10 approval. It's one of the best ones you can find, pretty much regardless of who you are. There's a chromatic land nearby, which is pretty okay for us. 6 points of resources is not a bad tile. And then we can also build up to these geysers. City's going to be kind of an awkward shape because of the position of that ruin. But like 6818 is not too bad. And this kind of minimizes the number of crappy tiles we have. I'm going to send the hero off separate. We can move over to here and get some more vision of these tiles. There might be something suggesting that we should go east instead, but it looks like no, that's not the case. Right. You don't have to found on your first turn, but it's a good idea to. You can see you hemorrhage money without a city established. And later in the game, you can settle a city and then salt the earth to return the city back to being a settler, and then move again later. But you should not do that with your capital, because when you lay down your first city, it creates the palace. If you salt the earth with your first city and then replant it, it will not recreate the palace. So don't do that. You'll go broke immediately. Alright, it's not a bad start. I'm not super pleased about our possibilities for expanding this city outward. 112. Okay, we can hope to get lucky with ruins. Alright, and I do think this is still pretty good. We have a little bit more science, I think, this time than we did last time, which is good. We need to figure out what directions our neighbors are in. Sisters of Mercy over here. Oh, this would have been an okay area to settle, although it's a little awkward to take advantage of this, given that it's right up against the region boundary. Let's actually go this way. Yeah, so we need to expand quickly, which means we need to figure out where the valuable land is quickly. This is kind of crummy. Alright, 10 blood crystal for doing the thing to this ruin. We have to search it with 3 infantry units. I think we're going to do the same thing that we did last time with the settler. So I'm going to try to get a hold of this region first. Let's see what it looks like over here. Another Spiral Rock Peel. That's promising. Okay, build 2 luxury extractors to get better luxury extractors. That's a fine quest. Do we have a luxury that we can see in our home region? No. Alright. We'll check out these tiles in a second. I want to search this ruin because the earlier that we can get our dust, the more effective it will be. Again, we're trying to build an engine here, and then I want to end turn adjacent to a village to talk to. Okay, pretty good luck finding a lot of dust. We're finding, there's a couple different amounts of dust that you can find, and we are not finding the higher amounts. But a lot of dust is good. Alright. Parlay, let's see if we can get lucky with some quests. Give these guys 50 dust. I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound good to me. What do these guys want? 8 wine. Okay, easier said than done. Unless we find a bunch of wine in a ruin somewhere. I wish I had any idea how many villagers there were. Oh, this region is... Okay, that's weird. Well, I don't have any idea what the deal is with this region then, but it's hard for us to want to give away dust, obviously. Let's go get the quest from these guys. So actually, it's a little, I'm a little nervous about settling this region, given that it's on the border of, the red player. So yeah, we're not going to be giving you this dust, at least not right this second. Okay, we have wine in our starting region. That's actually really excellent. Wine is probably the best of the early game resources. You can make an argument for gold, I think, probably, but... Alright, let's... So a forward settle... Okay, this we might get for free, but it's also possible, given that this region borders red, that red will just wipe these guys out. In fact, I would go so far as to say it is likely that that will happen. Really, there's a cliff here, okay. Well, that's inconvenient. Okay, there's a huge... Oh, wow, look at this density of anomalies. This is pretty decent terrain, like settling right here. Because a couple of these anomalies are food-based and don't give us a huge amount of value, but that's still a 4-tile and a 5-tile. And a 9 and a 9. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That looks promising. Okay. So we're not going to be making any tremendously important decisions until we have our mill foundry up, probably. So right now we're in scout mode. Okay, we're gonna... Oh, we don't have to pop the emeralds. Usually when you find a luxury in the beginning of the game, you want to use it right away because it pushes you from content to happy. But right, we settled on an approval anomaly. So let's have a look at the legendary deeds. I totally spaced on this. Destroy at least 10 armies in order to gain this reward. Very unlikely. Necrophage units are very good at killing. The disease helps. And remember, he's going to have necro drones already. And he probably has like a full army's worth of units already as well. And this is have at least 30 units of one luxury resource in the bank at the end of the turn in order to gain the reward. I know the way this is worded is a little ambiguous. It kind of sounds like you could have gathered 30 in total, regardless of your current level, but it actually does mean have 30 at one time. And we may get into a situation where we can prove that. So there's emeralds here. So we keep searching ruins as much as we can. So it's actually like super inconvenient to get down here. But Millantor is probably ours, because it seems to be coastal. I don't think we have to worry about anybody else getting in on that before we can claim it. Alright, let's finish revealing this region, since it is going to be important to us soon. And remember that our infantry have to kind of stay together so that we can hit this ruin when the time comes, but our hero can wander off wherever. More dust. Good stuff. Not seeing a lot of super compelling assimilates. This eyeless ones again. Obviously, we're really hoping for Delvers, pretty much always. Sorry, stuff is popping up over here. Okay. I think we want to do the same thing we did last time, turning this into a governor rather than a commander. Produce 40 industry. Okay, so at some point we're going to get some free influence. It's not something that we'll put any effort into. We can finish searching Namal with this guy. Okay, well timed, right as we... Ah, we're so close. So close to that next citizen. Well, maybe we can get it this turn from a ruin or something. I actually don't see a lot of ruins. Ah, I guessed wrong. It's pretty unlikely that these guys will find anything either. Oh, maybe. Okay, they did it. So you can see we got 40 dust that time. In the beginning of the game, I believe it's always going to be 30, 40, or 70. With obviously 40 being uncommon and 70 being quite rare. So we do have, we have glass steel, right? Yeah. We'd like a source of titanium early if we can get it. Holna here. Holna, what is... Let's zoom out a little bit. Shulna. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that region name before. Shulna is an obvious target for that, although again, if we... Settling in Shulna is going to bring us into conflict with Red quickly, but there's no way we avoid conflict with Red for very long unless they get distracted by somebody else. Okay, so you guys don't actually have to be over here anymore. Oh, Melantar has titanium and more wine. Okay, I think actually a back settle. But maybe not second, maybe it's our third region, because we really... Oh, he has arm. A two-handed sword. That is pretty okay. It's a little expensive. Costing 9 to equip, but... Alright, what does this guy want to do? We probably don't actually want to meet Red. Red can't declare war on us until they meet us. We should make them come to us. Also, that quest... Yeah, I think we're going to get this. So it looks like pacification and a free bunch of titanium for us. Okay, the capital's busy building stuff, so this is a good time to weave in a tech that doesn't require any building. And then we're probably going to want to get library after this. Yep, so we have pacified Namal. Unfortunately, it's just one village, and it's not a very good village. We probably will do this, but not because we care about the Kazanji. Setting that ministry to level 1 is what we would have wanted to do anyway. Alright, so we're going to send these dudes back down this way to explore some of this space. Right, we're just fishing for rewards right now. Oh, free eyeless ones if we search that ruin, huh? That's a bit of walking. What we'll probably actually do is just have this guy come back and we'll snap the hero to him. So they're going to give us some free units. I appreciate that. Melantar has 2 wine, but it is adjacent to another player. Interesting. Alright, I'm going to try to be a lot more aggressive with our settles this time, so we're going to go for a settler quickly. This guy will be done on 15. I'm going to try to get us, like, 2 cities very, very quickly. Actually, how long does it take for you to move back? It's not even really faster. I still think this is right. So how much is a hero right now? We have access to the hero market very early. Strikes Far has Industry Boost 2. Remember, we don't use food, so Food Boost doesn't do anything. Wadeha Khan is Attack Boost 2 on a support hero. We probably want to wait until the next batch of heroes shows up. At the very beginning of the game, there are only 3 heroes on the marketplace. And then, not too long in, usually fast enough that you don't even see the market before this, another group shows up. Yeah, Melantar is pretty important to us. We're going to have to make sure we get this quickly. Okay, and we need... getting the line going early is probably a good idea. But no, we need... Techs are starting to get expensive. We need to get our science going. On the whole, though, I'm not unhappy with the way this has begun. By the way, you can see he does already have necrophages. Yeah, I mean, obviously... Well... I was gonna say, obviously, we should run. But maybe not. Hey, tooltips. Okay, was weird, it got stuck. We have 99 defense. They have 56 attack and 36 attack, so they would almost always do half damage. Half damage being 14, and the Necro Drone is the only really worrying unit, and it's at very low health. You know what? I think we'll fight. I think we can do this. We want to, obviously, start in on the Necro Drone, and we don't want to be below them, because we don't want them getting the high ground bonus on us. No. Okay, we do significantly more damage than they do, but remember, we're taking disease damage every turn. Yeah, an exchange like that is huge for them. How are we doing 0 damage to this guy all the time? He has 63 whole defense. Why is he getting such a big defense boost? That was weird. His defense value was green. Oh, he probably has a shield. It was just showing the extra value from blocking green. Well, that's annoying, and it's going to be a little bit expensive. Yeah, that was a very unlikely outcome. Play mistake. I should have moved the army, then assigned the hero, because the stalwart has 1 move left. Yeah, that's a costly issue, but the play we made was the right play. We got a little bit dumped on by the random number generator there. It's not really something that we can control for. Okay, return to the initial Eyeless One's village with at least 2 Eyeless Ones of level 2 in your army. Sure, that's not going to happen. Let's be honest. So let's go pick up our 3rd infantry unit, search this ruin, and then, honestly, maybe it's worth running this initial settler all the way back to Melantur to make sure we get it, because it's really good. We don't want the Caricators to join up in the normal army, or at least not both of them, because we need to have a slot for the settler. I guess we can run one of them off this way. We're probably not actually going to be able to complete this quest, because it takes units a couple of battles to level up, and these Caricators are not going to survive a couple of battles. Oh, what am I doing? I moved away a little early. It's fine. Everything's fine. I guess we'll just keep him close. He can at least get XP from the fight that we're going to have here. So we're still 4 turns off of Public Library, but we can build a couple of stalwarts. Maybe we ought to. It would be 3 turns to build another settler. Yeah, you know what? Let's make another settler. Let's make a stalwart and then another settler. Because making the settler is going to reduce the population of the city slightly. So stalwart then settler is going to happen faster than settler then stalwart. Okay. So we got 10 blood crystal. Then we spend 80 dust here. And for our trouble receive 15 gold. And then we totally own this guy. Let's manual this just so that nothing crazy happens with the settler. We shouldn't have to, but we do have to. Okay, you don't go anywhere. Everybody else just be violent. We're gonna eat an attack as we close here. So, Caricators have an AoE heal when they attack that functions a lot like the move that our Dust Bishops have. It's fine. To be perfectly honest, dust bishops are so soft that I wonder if we even want to bother building them. And then they also have a castable heal, as you saw there. So we didn't find anything in the ruin, but we did get the archaeologist tech, lowering the cost of our researches, and oh yay, we'll get spices when we move forward with our quest. That's a shame. I was definitely hoping to get something that did nothing. Alright, so where are we going to plant this settler? I think this, the settler that Mornlock's working on right now will be the one who ends up over here. We have enough resources actually to push to fervent, so we should do it. It's a good idea to be fervent. Extra 15% dust in science. Good stuff. Plus, gold is just a useful resource. Yeah, where do we want to settle this guy? If we were going to settle in this region, it would probably be on the spiral rock peels, or at least near the spiral rock peels. Right, either of these tiles seems like it should be okay. Yeah, not totally awesome, but okay. Actually, this might be the way to go. Because look at all the industry. I know these are kind of low-value tiles, but if you're going to only have 2 points of resources, 2 points of industry is a pretty good way to go. And then we can... Is it here with the hope of expanding out, or here with the hope of expanding out? This location has more science as well. It's probably here. Early industry matters a lot. It's 8 less dust per turn. But even for us, I think 6 industry beats 8 dust. The usual markup, the usual dust to industry conversion as far as buying things goes is like, I think you pay 3 or 4 dust for every point of industry that you're buying out. I know this settles us on top of this titanium and prevents us from eventually building an intensifier, but let's worry about that maybe after we actually can afford an intensifier. Let's try to survive to that point. So like I said, this is antagonistic, but I do believe it's going to give us a much better chance of holding a sensible number of regions. Alright, we need to get our extractors. Alchemist's Furnace will start, as soon as we have it, it'll start producing titanium. Let's parlay. What do they want? Oh, an army that contains a minimum of 3 minor faction units. We have 2 right here. Alright. Has the second wave of heroes arrived yet? It has. Soyala Tocho is available. I always like Soyala Tocho. Industry Boost is great. He also makes a fine ranged commander, just like an actual fighting unit. Who else do we have available? Leofric Whitechapel, who is not a great governor, unfortunately. John Port the Shadow, who is a great governor. Dust Boost 3 is lovely. It's probably this guy. And our army's just going to go uncommanded for a little while. So unfortunately, we cannot realistically fulfill this quest. We need 40 influence to make sure that we can have an empire plan. Let's do this manually. I would like to hold our keep our Kekators alive as long as possible. So let's try to do this in a way that leads to that happening. Honestly, that's probably fine. We probably don't need to micro this too much more than that. Their guys are going to attack before us because their guys are level 2. Or before our Kekators move, I mean. So our guys will not even be in range for their attack. Yeah, they're not bad units, actually. Kekators probably have some of the worst actual combat stats, but they fit with our army pretty well, in that we could really use some healing that doesn't cost us dust. Yeah, I basically like these orders. These are fine orders. And it's kind of neat to have a healing unit in your army as well, because you know, when you kill the last enemy in a battle, you still have to play out the remainder of the final turn, and that means that any units you have that have beneficial spells get to just cast their spells without having to worry about anything else. So you see, we'll get 2 free heals here at the end of the battle. Okay, how are you guys doing on levels? How's it going? 10 XP. Okay. Alright, we're going to be burning the village, unfortunately. They gave us a quest we can't complete. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? Not burn their village to the ground? Don't be ridiculous. Alright, we've managed to stay happy. Both of our cities are founded on top of approval. Approval anomalies. Yeah, bummer. But this will be another bit of XP for our guys. So we're going to have to fight 3 more times to have any chance of getting these dudes leveled up. Go get them. If you're wondering why these ones aren't going first, it's because they aren't level 2. For some reason, the units that are in the village don't get XP per turn, it seems like. So once spawned, they will never level up, but as the village continues to spawn more dudes, depending on the era of the game, they will start to spawn at higher levels. This is taking forever. I could have short-circuited this by having our units in front run around them, but I'm so not worried. Alright, you, for real, get over here and clear the way a little. I guess it's not going to matter. Okay. Everybody gets to be at full. $3.5 XP. Okay. We do have a quest to kill a neutral village in Rothkalor, but I think that we may have failed that quest already, right? Nope, still have it. Okay, we might do that. So these guys are pretty dangerous, actually. They have relatively high damage and attack, and they are cavalry. They're fast. It's going to be hard to keep them off of the Kekators, but I think it's worth it to fight them. We could use the XP. I do need to move my hero back to a city at some point here, but one thing at a time, I guess. Alright. I mean, I guess there's no good reason not to have this guy out and in a place where he can commit to battle as a reinforcement. We actually probably want to swap one of the Kekators out for him and have that be what's coming in as a reinforcement. Oh, I forgot to... Damn it, I forgot to reassign a citizen to influence. I even said it. I knew I need to do it, and then I got distracted. I fought a battle and spaced on it. Oh wait, there's a cliff here. Well, we probably want you guys to be like way back. Right, because this guy's going to run around the cliff, I bet. In fact, I feel so confident in that I think we should stand like this. Because these guys have 4 combat moves. So this dude might go 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to push the Kekators from this side. Also, Pink has been the first to destroy at least 10 armies. This is starting to look familiar. Okay, that's pretty handy. And then you guys all focus on him. Okay. Ouch. 44 for nothing. Yeah, this is a significantly better unit for Gorin, obviously. Eyeless ones are pretty soft targets. Yes, lethal. Okay, we have to, somebody heal this man. Okay, it's not dead yet. And you can see the heal chains out to other friendlies. Okay, it hurt, but we got through it. Alright, this is the village we were to destroy. This is a pretty big error. Not having had enough influence for this. Is it going to be backbreaking? Well, we actually haven't put ourselves into a position where we're out of stuff to build yet. Actually, you know what? It might not be a big problem. I definitely screwed up, but we could go back and fix it, or we could just try to play through, and I think we'll just try to play through. Try to cope with our mistake. So we still have our action point. Healing our hero would remove our action point. He's only down a little bit. Yeah, let's go for it. Alright, we have to be very careful how we position. I think this should be fine. Okay, so everybody is going to prefer this target. Oh, that's a cliff. He can't do that. Well, let's not give too specific orders here. Be a little careful. So we have the high ground, but he has a forest, which gives him additional defense. And no matter whether this guy survives or not, our hero targets that guy on the coming turn. Yep. And that will keep him locked up, because the value of having higher initiative than your opponent is that they don't get to make a lot of choices. And in general, if your opponent's not making choices, you should win. That's usually how a game ought to work. Okay, so we get some heals cast on our hero here. You know, having these Kekators around has actually been very useful. Okay, if we go back to the guys, they'll give us even more glass steel. Why doesn't anyone want to give me titanium? Also, that battle was 10 XP. So these dudes are actually pretty close. Where's the Silix village? Hold on. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's the quest to pacify the region that we settled in. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. Let's do that. Okay, we know where we're settling here. Let's get a move on. Right, there's no way it makes sense to settle anywhere else. Please don't let there be hostile eyeless ones. Quote-unquote hostile eyeless ones. This is maybe risky, but I sure would love to know what's in that ruin. We can get it from this side. What am I thinking? I think in my head I was extending the cliff along the borderline, but that's not actually where it is. Okay, 30 dust. Cool. So yeah, we should maybe take a moment off of buying population and try to get John Port the Shadow before he is purchased by somebody else or disappears or something. Because he's actually going to be a very valuable hero to us. Alright. Damn it, we actually were going to get this. For the first time ever in all of history. Okay, that means that there are necrophage units in the region, so you have to be a little careful. Alright, we just got our mine research finished, so we now have extraction on this. Because if you have a burrow on top of a resource, it immediately gets extracted the second you can afford, or the second you have the tech. Alright, we're gonna have to fight this, but Shulna just got a big boost in production And that's going to be very helpful. Which is good, because Shulna's going to have to be capable of producing its own army before too much longer. What, it's pillaging the extractor that's inside the city? How's it pulling that off? Okay, this is the only place that makes sense, right? 18, 8, 10. Yeah. Alright, so we'll enter that command, so next turn we can just mash this and he'll settle. And now we have a lot of building that we need to do. We don't actually need to get the glass steel extractor up right away. We have so much glass steel. I'd rather build a point of population. So these guys are probably a little over 300 now. Yeah. Johnport is exclusive to us for 8 more turns. Only we can see him. We want to buy him before that ends. I do not want... Oh, right, I have to do this. I do not want to have a situation... I'm not even going to bring this guy into the battle. He's too likely to die. We don't want to see a situation where we lose him to somebody buying him the turn he becomes visible to them. And somebody might. Dust Boost 3 is pretty good. It's a pretty good capacity. Alright, so these dudes hit really hard and are tough and badass, but they have 1 speed in battle. It's worth noting that they're disease immune. Could be relevant, actually. And then everybody else just... everybody focus. Sorry, not everybody. Somebody needs to attack this guy so that he doesn't get to move. You should also focus here. Okay. Not a bad showing from our hero. Now, it's not extremely vital to get our hero back to governing until we're actually going to be able to take advantage of the... Actually, you know what? Let's have the hero lock this guy up. Because if he goes nuts and does 100 damage again or something, we don't want to waste all that on the guy who's almost already dead. Please don't heal the militia. They'll be fine. Oh, okay. It worked out for the best, but I made an error there in letting this guy attack. We should have pulled this guy back so that there was no chance he would kill the Silic, because we really did want our other stalwart to get the killing blow so that he could heal off of his soul leech. Small error that turned out not to matter because we got lucky and the wrong unit did not get the killing blow, but could have been bad. Okay. Open pit mine next turn. This city should probably start building more units. How are we doing on Era 2? We still need another tech after this. It's a little slow. We don't have rivers this time, right? Yeah, so aquapulvistics will not be meaningful to us. So we probably just want to pick up topography. We're not really in a good position to boat. Like, we really are not. We could get out to the water with a single burrow from Melanter, I guess. It's an interesting idea. Alright. I almost reflexively bought a citizen. We need to get that governor. Alright, so you make another stalwart, and then we have 6 units, but 2 of them are Kekators that will not be able to be upgraded because we don't have the unit design. We could assimilate the eyeless ones. They do give +5 approval per village, and we do have 3 of their villages. Silics get you strategic resources out of extractors more quickly. This maybe is the right play instead. They're both a little bit redundant with units that we already have in our military. Silics actually kind of fill the same role as stalwarts, except that they're much slower and kind of worse at it. But it is worth thinking about the fact that they're immune to disease because they're made of rock. I've never known a rock to get the flu. They're very healthy people rocks. And I mean, yeah, okay, let's assimilate them. I really do want the extra +1 resource from each extractor per turn. That's pretty good. Okay. We could actually have done that a couple of turns ago. We're not functioning at totally optimal efficiency here due to my dumb brain. What did these guys want? They wanted wine. Do I want them to have wine? I want to have wine. This is Gorin, who we would not switch to anyway. Trying to figure out where we settled next and how quickly we have to do it. Namal would be cool as a bulwark against red, because settling Namal would guarantee us tame pretty much. But also, Kulch could be a good play. Kulch has a ton of rivers. Like, we could settle here and then just build out into the Riverlands, pick up Aquapulvistics, and get crazy, crazy dust from this city. And it prevents Pink from incurring on us any further. We have a lot of stuff that needs doing. Well, let's send our army in this direction, I guess. And I'm going to actually have this guy go to Melantor, because we can probably get a quest from this village. Attempt to pacify the region through peaceable means. Yeah, so these Kekators are going to get... they're going to become useless quickly. Alright, we did it! We got 15 spices! I don't know what... We'll trade them to somebody eventually. Okay, they settled this region. That's not a big deal. I want to know what's in these hexes, because it very well may affect our decision making. Alright, so I think let's pick up topography. We have, in most of our regions, we have science on every tile, so +2 science on each tile that has science on it is it's pretty big. That's going to be a lot of extra learning. And I'd like to get to Adamantian and Palladian weapons quicker this game than we did last game. I think that would be very helpful. Because really, what broke us last game was that we fell a tier behind at exactly the wrong moment. Ooh, that's going to drop us to content. All of our boosters ran out. So not totally optimal. And I think we need one more turn before we can afford John Port. Yeah. Do I want to try this? It's only 11 turns. This city doesn't have anything else that's truly pivotal to build. I think I'm going to go for it. It's a little... Yeah, I'm going to go for it. So wait, actually, hold on. How do we want to build this city? Oh, we want to build up in this direction, right? So I'm going to make the thing right here. Yeah, let's go for it. It would be nice to have that buoying up our empire-wide approval. In case you're not familiar with what it does. It gives +20 approval per level, so if we build around it, it'll give another +20. And it gives you +20% dust and science, as long as you're at happy or higher on your empire approval level. It should be something that we can maintain. After the early game, your approval level should stay mostly under control, except in the periods where you're actively colonizing new territory. And when I say colonizing, of course I mean taking regions away from the AI. Okay, so Kulch has glasssteel. It's not the most valuable resource in the world. Please start getting the wine. And at this point, the glasssteel. And let's hire John Port. Absolutely, very excited about that. He should probably go in a city where... Well, he should probably go in Melanter, maybe? Here's what I'm thinking. Oh, no, I think actually maybe this should be the hero for Melanter. Because this skill, plus 0.5 resource per turn on deposit, doesn't say strategic resource. It's easy to think of it that way, especially since it's called Mining Authority. But it does affect your luxury extractors as well. So we want a high-level Broken Lord's hero in this region quickly so that we can get all this wine. But I think actually it's going to be Jocelyn Duval. So let's put John Port in Shulna. And Dust Boost 3 does this, if you were curious, plus 6 dust per level of the hero on the city. And I want to do that because I prefer to have heroes in cities that are likely to come under attack. The hero can lend a significant amount to the city's defense. They can be pretty good units. Broken Lord's heroes are generally pretty good fighters. Alright, let's see if they will give us... They don't want to negotiate. Okay, well, they're just eyeless ones. We can handle it. Alright, I think that's what we're going to call this episode. I hope nobody's too disappointed by the fact that we booted that first game, but we're going to try not to repeat the mistakes of the past this game. And what that means is now that we've purchased the governor we really wanted, we're going to focus on getting some more land. I'd like to, if we're going to get Culch, we should get it soon. And then we should expand out to Tame and Namal and stuff shortly after. We need to stake claims. It's a lot easier to take land now than it will be after people have settled on it. So come back next time. We're going to keep spreading over the land, pushing the hive back, and probably blood is going to start getting spilled. And we'll see you then.